Hello, you're kicking off the Saturday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin with MINH and the headlines. Prime Minister PHAM holds talks with Estonian counterpart. A sacred and proud journey. Vietnam promotes application of AI in marine tourism development. On June the 16th, Hanoi President Lương Cường hosted a reception for Japanese ambassador to Vietnam, Mr. Ito Naoki, in which he reaffirmed Japan as the leading and highly prioritized partner in Vietnam's foreign policy. President Lương Cường acknowledged Ambassador Ito Naoki's significant efforts in promoting bilateral relations and encouraged further strengthening of political trust through high-level exchanges and enhanced implementation of bilateral cooperation mechanisms. He also expressed interest in expanding collaboration in new areas such as science, technology, innovation, and digital transformation, when enhancing mutual support at multilateral forums. Ambassador Ito Naoki, in turn, expressed his gratitude to President Lương Cường and reiterated Japan's continuous support for Vietnam's national development as the country enters the new era. He proposed both the country build up on the outcomes of Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru's recent visit to Vietnam, with a focus on cooperation in digital transformation, green growth, and AI development. Within the framework of his official visit to Estonia, Prime Minister PHAM held talks with his Estonian counterpart Kristen Mitchell on the morning of June the 6th local time in the capital of Thailand. Welcoming Prime Minister PHAM, Prime Minister Kristen Mitchell emphasized that Prime Minister CHINH's visit was a historic trip, considering there's a new impetus for the two sides to deepen bilateral relations and expand cooperation in many other areas where both sides have strengths and needs. Prime Minister PHAM showed his impression of Estonia's remarkable progress in digital transformation and e-government. He asked Estonia to share valuable experiences in this field, support Vietnam to better serve the people, and promote more sustainable socio-economic development. Agreeing with Prime Minister CHINH's proposals, Prime Minister Mitchell affirmed that Estonia wants to strengthen cooperation in all fields with Vietnam, is ready to stand side by side with Vietnam in the process of digital transformation, innovation, and enhanced cooperation in science, technology, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, education, and training. The two leaders affirmed that the two countries need to support and assist each other to develop together, thereby further tightening the traditional friendship and multifaceted cooperation. Prime Minister CHINH expressed his hope that Estonia could act as an effective bridge to help Vietnam's export gain deeper access to the Nordic and EU markets. The two sides agreed to enhance people-to-people exchange, especially tourism and culture, through organizing promotion events and participating in activities held in its country. The two leaders had an in-depth discussion on the world and regional situation, including the world economic situation, and affirmed their support for free trade and the need to reform multilateral institutions in a more effective direction. The two sides shared the same view on the need of international solidarity and respect for the rule of law and the fundamental principles of the UN Charter. Prime Minister PHAM said that Vietnam is ready to join the international community in peacekeeping efforts. At the end of the talks, the two prime ministers witnessed the signing and exchange of a memorandum of understanding on cooperation between the Vietnamese Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in digital transformation and digital economy between the Vietnamese Ministry of Science and Technology and the Estonian Ministry of Justice and Digital Transformation. After that, the two prime ministers chaired a joint press conference to announce the results of their talks. Prime Minister PHAM thanked the Estonian government and people for their warm welcome. He highlighted that the contents achieved at the talks would deepen the cooperation between the two countries in the coming time. On the morning of June the 16th, Hanoi, Senior Lieutenant General with VIET Defense Minister chaired a conference reporting information security and network security assurance at party and state agencies. In recent times, implementing the tasks assigned by the Central Military Commission and Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff has directed functional agencies and units to work with agencies of the Central Party Office to carry out the following tasks: deploying solutions to prevent, respond to information security incidents, supporting agencies in implementing cyber security monitoring activities. Senior Lieutenant General Reup stressed that ensuring information and network security at four agencies of the party and state is an extremely important task, demonstrating trust in the Ministry of National Defense. He asked the General Staff to continue to closely direct functional agencies and units, especially Command 86, to develop plans and regulations for close coordination and deploy solutions to ensure information and network security at agencies of the Central Party Office. Toward the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day, September 2nd, 3 special trains departed from Tam Kỳ Station and Saigon Station, carrying soldiers, militiamen representing localities and armed forces from the south to Hanoi, starting the training journey to serve the National Parade. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa, Double Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, was at the Hanoi Station to receive and inspect the task assessment process, demonstrating the special attention of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense to the forces participating in the parade. The send-up ceremony at Saigon Station filled with the excitement of a big holiday. The firm handshakes, the unwavering gazes, are the silent but profound promises of the home front, conveying trust and pride to the soldiers who are embarking on a sacred mission. It is my third time participating in a military parade. It's a pride and honor. I've prepared myself mentally and physically to fulfill this task. Wherever the train goes, it carries with it a sense of pride. At every stop, the civil-military solidarity and bond between comrades are always seen, providing powerful motivation for this meaningful journey. Traveling thousands of kilometers, the atmosphere on board remains vibrant and full of enthusiasm. Songs and melodies mix with the excitement and pride of young people entrusted with a great honor by the fatherland. Upon arriving at Hanoi Station, the welcome was joyful and heartfelt. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa and a delegation of officers from relevant agencies and units were present in person to inspect and encourage the forces. Every handshake and every word of advice became a source of spiritual strength, reinforcing the will, courage, and confidence of its officers and soldiers for the challenging training journey ahead. I feel very touched when being welcomed in such a cozy and exciting way. In every glance and smile, a strong sense of determination can be seen, ready to devote themselves to a special public good event of the entire Vietnamese nation. Coming up next, Cuba commemorates a century of Vietnamese revolutionary press. Vietnam promotes application of AI in marine tourism development. On June the 6th in Hanoi, the Cuban ambassador to Vietnam held a meeting with Vietnamese media professionals and experts who previously studied in Cuba. The event marks the upcoming 100th anniversary of the Vietnamese Revolutionary Press and the 65th anniversary of the Vietnam-Cuba diplomatic relations. Remarks by the Cuban ambassador and messages from Cuban journalists reaffirmed the strong bonds between the revolutionary presses of both nations. During the war, Cuba mobilized its entire media system to support Vietnam. From the front lines, Cuban journalists vividly conveyed the resilience of the Vietnamese people and exposed the unjust imperialist war. Cuba also supported the training of many generations of Vietnamese journalists. Today, both sides continue to collaborate in promoting Vietnam's socio-economic progress and Cuba's efforts in development and national defense. President of the Vietnam Journalists Association Lê Quốc Minh highlighted the enduring solidarity between the two countries' press status, particularly in the field of information and communications, knowing that both sides would deepen cooperation, exchange expertise, strengthen communications targeting younger generations, and work together on applying new technologies and advancing multimedia journalism. At the event, the Cuban ambassador in Hanoi presented the Felix Hermosa Medal to 5 outstanding Vietnamese journalists for their contributions to fostering cooperation between the Vietnam Journalists Association and the Union of Cuban Journalists. Artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is present in every corner of daily life, and if AI is applied effectively, it will bring new opportunities for environmental protection and sustainable development of marine tourism. That's stressed at the conference on AI application in environmental cultural communication and marine tourism development, an event in a series of activities responding to the Vietnam Sea and Islands Week, commemorating 100 years of Vietnam revolutionary journalism. In the field of marine tourism development, AI can analyze tourist preferences to suggest suitable tours, offering unique and distinctive experiences. AI also supports the creation of smart tourism promotion platforms through engaging interactive formats such as virtual reality. More importantly, AI helps the marine tourism sector reach the right audience at the right time and in the most effective way, thereby spreading the image of a green, friendly, and globally integrated Vietnam. Recognizing the opportunities and challenges brought by AI applications, delegates emphasize that modern journalism must enhance the use of AI to effectively communicate new models and exemplary practices in environmental protection, marine economic development, and sustainable marine tourism. During his working visit to the United States on June the 5th local time, Minister of Agriculture and Environment Đỗ Đức Duy held separate meetings with Senator Joe Bruceman, ranking member of the U.S. Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition and Forestry, and Congressman Glenn G.T. Thompson, chairman of the U.S. House Committee on Agriculture. During the meetings, Mr. Đỗ Đức Duy informed Senator John Boozman about the purpose and outcomes of his current visit to the U.S. Mr. Đỗ Đức Duy emphasized that both Vietnam and the U.S. possess strengths in agriculture, but rather than competing directly, the two countries can complement and support each other's growth. Vietnam is known for its high-quality agricultural products, which are widely exported to various markets, including the U.S., such as coffee, pepper, cashew nuts, shrimp, fish, and wooden furniture. In the coming time, Mr. Đỗ Đức Duy hopes that the U.S. will continue to open its market, maintain reasonable tariffs, and allow these products to enter the U.S. market. The government of Vietnam, specifically the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, will continue to facilitate U.S. businesses and agricultural products in Vietnam. To date, 509 U.S. businesses have been licensed to invest in Vietnam, and 302 have received permits to export agricultural products to Vietnam. Since April 1st, 2025, Vietnam has cut tariffs to 0% on most U.S. corn and soybean products. Mr. Dui's delegation, including department heads and around 30 companies in grains, meat, fertilizers, pesticides, and wood processing, is in the U.S. to promote trade. Meeting with Congressman Thompson, Minister Duy proposed to continue support for close cooperation between agricultural agencies at both the federal and state levels. He also called for stronger business and association-level partnerships to boost multi-trade and investment. Mr. Duy also shared that at a business dialogue scheduled for the afternoon of June the 6th in Washington with the U.S. ASEAN Business Council, Vietnamese companies are expected to sign import deals worth about $1.1 billion. Congressman Thompson expressed optimism about the impressive results of the working trip by the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment delegation and the upcoming dialogue in Washington, with many major contracts expected to be signed. He strongly supports agricultural cooperation at all levels, not only between government agencies, but also among research institutes and universities in both countries. It's the end of the English News Bulletin today. You will watch our news again at PHAM. Goodbye and see you next time.